NASCAR 25 is releasing in less than 2 weeks, and we're going to throw it to an old style video where I'm just going to be talking and you're going to be seeing gameplay in the background. So I haven't done this in years. And the main reason is I just don't feel like turning my camera on. So deal with it. All right, so let's talk about NASCAR 25 because I have been very positive over the last few weeks, and I've also seen some criticisms of me being too positive, but that is okay. I just want to talk about if you guys have any worries or some of the things that I've seen that people are worried about this game. I want to talk about those things because I don't think, let me put it this way. I don't think this game is going to be the greatest game of all time, and I also never went into this thinking that NASCAR 25 would be the greatest game of all time. I never went into this thinking that NASCAR 25 would beat my love for NASCAR Thunder 2004, NASCAR Thunder 2003, or even NASCAR the game Inside Line. But after playing the game, I do believe that the future of the NASCAR series under the iRacing umbrella is in very, very good hands. And that was the entire goal, at least for me, and what I wanted to see from iRacing and for this game. And I can understand the frustration because I've seen a lot, or not a lot, but I've seen some. I think the majority of people have been very positive about this game, and I think the majority of people have their expectations, in my opinion, set correctly. I think if you are expecting a game that is on the level of like I'm trying to think like F1 2013 is an incredible game. I still think that's the best F1 game in the series. But F1 2013 was also the fifth game that Codemasters made. Maybe it could have been fourth. I think it was fourth. But multiple games that Codemasters took to end up making F1 2013, and then they actually went backwards when they went to F1 2014 and F1 2015. So what I want to say is NASCAR 25, and I've heard that people get frustrated that this is the first game, but it's true. We had NASCAR 21 Ignition 4 years ago. 4 years ago, that was the first game in the Motorsport Games era. And that game was a buggy mess, and it was obviously not received well, and that was that. And, NASCAR pulls the license, and there you go. Motorsport Games, I think they're doing the Le Mans Ultimate, which I've heard has gotten pretty decent reviews, but they didn't make the IndyCar game. They failed with the NASCAR series. So that was their first game. Before that, we had NASCAR Heat with 704 games and Monster games, and they were on the Unity engine. And to be fair, they didn't have, I feel like, the resources to do exactly what they wanted to do with that series of games. Now, we jump ahead to NASCAR 25, and very important to mention Monster Games, because Monster Games is under the iRacing umbrella now, and now this is being made by iRacing Studios, where iRacing Studios does have multiple teams under that umbrella now, and they all kind of work together. So it's not just Monster Games working on this game, it is actually iRacing Studios. So there are multiple people working on this game. They have more employees, they have more manpower, they have more resources. They have Unreal Engine 5 now with this game. So they have more resources to make the game how they want to, probably, or how they envisioned it, 10 years ago. But the reality is that this is the first game, and whether you like that or not, that is the case. It is the first game. So when I talked about, playing the game and what my thoughts on it, I still haven't touched on career mode. I still haven't seen what online is like. You still haven't played the game enough to see what bugs are there. What is the AI tendencies? There's still a lot of things we have to figure out. But my belief was the foundation of this game needs to be correct, because I didn't think in the previous, first iterations of a game, which we'll talk about NASCAR Heat Evolution, and we'll talk about NASCAR 21 Ignition. NASCAR Heat Evolution is nowhere near the standard of what a AAA racing game should be. NASCAR 21 Ignition looks like a AAA racing game, but was a complete mess under the hood. Bugs all over the place, AI completely just a joke, and everything about that game, when you actually look under the glossy picture of it, is a mess. So NASCAR 25 is the first iteration of a game in the last 10 years, and I can already tell you guys very confidently, only playing the game for about 45 minutes, this will be the best version of a first iteration of a game. It is a really good foundation. The driving physics, if you guys have complaints about the driving physics, I will be surprised. I'm going to be honest with you. I will be surprised. Everyone has their own opinion, but I will be very surprised if you guys have complaints and issues about the driving physics, the actual driving of the car. If you don't like how it feels, or if you think it's a certain way, I will be honestly surprised. I think this is the best NASCAR driving physics game since NASCAR the game Inside Line, which also had really good driving physics. You could lean on the right rear. Tire wear was very cool in that aspect. I don't know about tire wear in this game, and stuff like that, which I'm going to talk about the concerns, because that's what this video is about. It's talking about the concerns. So the foundation of this game, I think, is, like I said, I think it's going to be a 9.5, even a 10 out of 10. I think the AI, the graphics, and the driving are exactly, honestly, where I'd want them to be, and that is what my expectation was for this game in terms of what it had to get right. Now, what about the future? Because I don't think NASCAR 25 is going to be the best game in the series. And if it is the best game in the series, then something went wrong, because iRacing has the NASCAR license for multiple years, and so we should see improvements as the years go on. And whether you are impatient or whether you don't like that, that's the fact, is that this is the first iteration for iRacing Studios. And if there's any other game developer or publisher that you would want NASCAR to be with, I highly suggest you bring your opinion forth, because I don't think there is. I think iRacing is the best to take this series forward. And guess what? IndyCar thought the same exact thing, because they are now making the IndyCar game as well. So iRacing is the best publisher and the best developers to make this game. Now, some of the worries I've seen, and I do agree with, are what I would call NASCAR heaterisms. I don't even know what the word technically is. They are things that we've seen in NASCAR Heat series that are still going to be in this game. For example, the way cautions work, I think, is the biggest complaint that I've seen on social media. And the reason for that is they work the same as NASCAR Heat 5. Whereas caution comes out, you get your pit strategy options. You don't see, like, the game doesn't like reload into where, let's say, for example, EA Sports games, where like the cars magically reset on track entering turn 3 and everyone goes down pit lane, right? This game does not do that. It does the NASCAR Heat 5 style, or the NASCAR Heat series in general style, where it continues on from the point of caution. You have 30 seconds or so to make your adjustments, your pit stops, and then you don't actually see, the battle on pit road or stuff like that. You also can't take left side tires and all that, the options and stuff like that. And guess what, guys? I agree with you. I don't like that style of how the cautions work. You don't see caution replays. I don't like how the AI behave in a wreck, where the AI, it's again, very similar to NASCAR 85, where the AI kind of, they group together and they slow down together, and so you never see big crashes. And guys, this is, at the end of the day, this is a video game. We want to see wild wrecks and cars crashing and all that stuff. But in the way that in the NASCAR Heat Series works, and it looks like it will work in NASCAR 25, because we saw it in the Daytona gameplay, when you cause a crash, the AI, they kind of slow down together and they stay compact and they kind of just try to get through the wreck. And those are things that I think need to be adjusted. However, was I expecting those things to be different? And that's where I feel like that for those of you that are complaining about the game, I think your expectations were wrong. Because if you were expecting a completely different way the game works, like from the bottom to the top, everything, including cautions and how all that works, I think that was not realistic in, what was it, a 2-year time frame? I mean, I don't really remember exactly when the license was granted to iRacing, but this is about a 2 or 2.5 year time frame where you have to build a game on a brand new game engine, and you have to make sure it is polished, working correctly, and you have to set a good first impression for the community, who have been scarred and lost trust in developers over the last 10 years, right? So heading into this game 6 months ago, where I had absolutely no idea what it was going to look like, just like you guys and everything like that, I was expecting for it to feel a lot like NASCAR Heat 5. I've been saying that for 6 months. Like, those are my expectations. And guess what? The driving physics are completely different from NASCAR Heat 5. The AI, which I wanted to be similar, are similar and, in my opinion, improved to NASCAR Heat 5. And the graphics are way, way, way better. It's not even a comparison to NASCAR. Like, you can't compare it to NASCAR Heat 5. The graphics are definitely so much better thanks to the Unreal Engine 5. Thanks to the scanned racetracks. We also have something that I didn't think was possible, which was having all the scanned racetracks. Every racetrack in this game is a scanned version, which makes a massive difference in terms of driving physics and how the game will feel. So that I wasn't even expecting that. That was a pleasant surprise. But the way that the cautions work and stuff like that, I was never expecting that to change. Do I want that to change? Am I with you guys on that? Absolutely 100%. And guess what? iRacing and the developers know that as well, except to change that, you have to change how the entire game works, because when a caution comes out, it plays in kind of one way, right? If you wanted caution replays, if you wanted to see pit stops under yellow, you have to change the entire coding and the underlying system of the game. And was that probably something that you should have done when you also have to get all the new game engine and the assets with the tracks and everything and making sure everything works and all that stuff? Was that going to be worth it? They probably most likely just didn't have the time. That's probably, they looked at it like, what were the resources that it would take to completely rework how cautions work in the game, how the AI behave and react to wrecks in the game. How many resources would that take? It'd probably take, I don't know, I'm not a developer, but it could take a year, whatever, who knows? And then you would lose focus on other aspects of the game that you need to put into, like career mode, which, again, we haven't even talked about, like online, making sure online works and stuff. And so throughout NASCAR 25, I think you will see sacrifices and I think you will see decisions, but that is because it is the first game. So when I talk about NASCAR 25, it's not me being overly positive. It's not me being blind to the things that I want changed. Like I said, again, I would love for like what I've seen from the career mode. We haven't seen a lot from career mode. I would love for more things to be in the career mode. I would love money to be like definitely more involved. I wouldn't really want the AI manager screenshots that we've seen months ago, right? But it's the first game. So I'm not expecting career mode to be the greatest career mode I've ever seen. I'm expecting it to be hopefully solid, but I want to see those improvements definitely down the line. I want to see custom avatars with like a lot of customization, helmets and sunglasses, and I don't know, maybe like post-race press conferences and stuff like that. All these things that I would love to see in a NASCAR career mode. I was never expecting for this game. So that's just like my thought process. We'll make videos in the future when this game comes out. We play it for a few months, and then like we all as a community look at it and be like, all right, what can be improved? I'm gonna make a ton of videos where we can all comment under the video and stuff like that and share ideas where like, what do we want now to add to this game? Because that's what I'm expecting from NASCAR 25. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be the greatest game of all time. What it's going to be is it's going to be a fantastic foundation setter. I know that right now, because I have played it, I know it will be a fantastic foundation setter. I am hoping the online works correctly. That I don't know. We all have to wait. I'm hoping lag is set to a minimum. I'm hoping we can race at Daytona and Talladega in 20 car packs and have a lot of fun like we did on NASCAR 09. I've still not experienced plate racing like that in 15 years. And it's been 15 years since a game has given me that level of fun and community at plate racing. And I'm hoping this game could deliver, but that's not my expectation. It's a hope. I have no idea. I would love to see leagues be supported more in online, which I don't think we're going to see a lot in online, right? You can't broadcast or watch someone race, and there's probably a lot of league features that need to be added to the series. But again, I was expecting all of this. So that's kind of where I am with the concerns of NASCAR 25. Like I said, I would love for career mode to be deeper. I would love for there to be a challenge mode, like similar to Lightning challenges, similar to what Utechnics had, where Utechnics did it differently. They had like real life data, where I always remember the 2011 Atlanta challenge, I think in NASCAR The Game Inside Line, where you actually saw Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson running the exact same lines they were running in real life. So I'm not really sure if I'd want that. That felt weird because you couldn't really race the AI. They were on a set line and it was, it was odd. But I would like to see like a return to a challenge mode, like a Lightning challenge from the Thunder days. I would definitely like to see that. So Was I expecting that for this game though? No, so there are things that I want to see for the future. There are definitely things within the game that I want to see change in terms of like how cautions work is definitely my number one. I'd love to see caution replays. I would love to see I would love to see the AI and my car go in the pit lane and see how many people stay out and how many people pit. I don't want to see that skipped. I want to see green under caution my pit crew pit my car. I want to see all of that. I want it to behave a lot more like how the EA games behaved back in the day. And hopefully those changes will be made in the future. And so, but again, I just wasn't expecting that for this game. And I'll end it here by saying this. If you have any concerns about this game, like I said when I played it, the developers know. They are extremely, extremely passionate, extremely knowledgeable, and anything that I even could provide feedback with, or you guys could provide feedback with, they already probably discussed it. Like, I actually don't even know what I could think of that they don't know already, but they have to make those decisions in terms of resources, time allocation, what can be done in a specific time frame to for the game to launch, and stuff like that. So again, if you think I'm being overly positive, and to be fair, guys, I'm 28 years old. I've been doing this for almost 10 years now. I don't really take to heart that much criticism. Like, if you guys criticize me, if you say I'm a shill, whatever, it does not bother me. I don't really care because I know I'm not. So like, it just does not bother me whatsoever. I'm here to make or help make a game as great as possible. That's my role, technically, in this community, playing this game with the audience that I have. Thank you guys for allowing me this platform to voice my opinions, to play the video game, for you guys to watch and support with tens of thousands of views, and give your comments as well, and we discuss it as a community. I appreciate that a lot. And my whole goal at the end of the day with all this is, even though I'm not developing the game and all that, I want to help in my own way, the best I can, make NASCAR consoles games as great as they were when I was growing up, because that's how I got into NASCAR is through the video games. And I think for the last 15 years, there's been a massive hole in that, where I think a lot of young kids growing up playing video games and what I think has been a great era for video games, but instead they play Fortnite and they play Call of Duty and they play Minecraft and they play Roblox and whatever else. They play The Sims. They play single player, narrative stories on narrative games on PlayStation, and all that stuff. They play Madden. They play all that stuff. But they don't play NASCAR. They play F1, but they don't play NASCAR. Why don't they play NASCAR? Because there hasn't really been a game that can compete with all those other games and get that notoriety and that popularity and be reviewed, by, for example, I want to see NASCAR games be reviewed by Digital Foundry or by IGN or by GameSpot or by Game Informer, like all these major game publications and all these major communities. I want to see NASCAR games in that space, and that's what I believe that can be possible. And what that will do is generate young fans to then watch NASCAR in real life if they're having fun on the video game. And so that's my whole goal here. And I think there are changes you can make to the NASCAR to like, in terms of like cautions and stuff. This is one of the reasons why I'm talking about the cautions, is because if you can get those big wrecks, if the AI can stop being so, conservative with that, you create those viral clips that go online. And yeah, it might look crazy, but like, listen, at the end of the day, we all go backwards in a NASCAR video game. We all like to cause crashes. We all like, that is just, it's a video game. We like to have fun. That's what we like to do. And I think that's one area where iRacing can really focus on over the next year or two to improve that part of the game. I don't know if you classify that as a foundation, but outside of that, I'll be honest, I don't really want anything else changed when it comes to the foundations. I think the AI is great. I think the driving physics are great. I think the game looks great. You can customize like how the AI contacted you. So maybe, hopefully they adjust a little bit more the way your car reacts to the AI, like the physics contact system. Keep improving on that. But, the foundation of this game is great. So what do you guys think of my thoughts on that? Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Hopefully that clears the air in terms of people that, think I'm being too positive, or people think whatever. Whatever you guys want to think. Again, don't really take it too personally. You guys think whatever you want to think. So leave your comments down below. Hopefully you enjoyed this old style of commentary video. Follow me on Twitter if you already, subscribe for new, and the game will release in less than 2 weeks now in terms of Gold Edition. I think, or does it release in exactly 2 weeks? I think it releases October 11th, I think is a Saturday. So yeah, 2 weeks till Gold Edition. And then I think October 14th is Standard Edition. I'll see you guys soon. We'll talk about this game a lot more often. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and please leave any feedback or comments down below. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. That sounds weird. I'm saying peace out. I always say peace out. Peace out.